Well, now that I got the Roger Stone-esque looking hair, according to one viewer, all I need is the Nixon tattoo on the back. But this video, like the legislative branch, comes to you in two parts. First part, how to make money from the news as just a normal person. Well, the news, as being a media company, is always in search of new media to use, as they don't have infinite filmographers and shooters to go film everything they need to fill on a daily basis. They rely on a lot of other people's content. You can game this to your favor. The first approach that I would take is that, anytime you're out and you see something interesting, take out your phone, record it. Boom. I don't have my phone here, but I do have a lot of cash, so we'll pretend this is my phone. So if you're out hanging out with your friends and something crazy happens, I don't care whether it's like an animal or a tornado's coming down, take that out, film it with your phone, and then send it off to a company that specializes specifically on licensing viral videos. And you may not even think what you have as a viral video, but it could correlate perfectly to a news story that a media company is working on. And some of those viral video companies would be like Viral Hog, Storyful, and Rumble, and they'll take your video and they'll take control of the license of that little piece of video you filmed, and then they'll license it out to all these media companies that need it. If there's suddenly a tornado season in Oklahoma and you happen to have like a cool little video shot of a tornado from last year when you're driving through Kansas, those media companies often will have deals with these viral video companies, and they'll go in and buy that, or license the rights to use it, and you'll get a check. Or a lot of times these viral video companies, they act as like an archive of like random, just user photo video things, and if they deem it like worthwhile, they'll reach out to a bunch of news companies and distribute it out for you, and they'll give you a cut of that money. So number one tip to just like gaming the system, and the fact that the media always needs more media, more video, more footage of stuff, especially everyday things. If they're a little weird, like some bird does something weird, or a cat does something weird, or don't film babies unless it's your own and you're fine with the baby appearing on the thing. But oftentimes if you just take out your phone and you're filming something kind of interesting, you might be able to make more money than you think, just using modern copyright laws and licensing deals with the internet. And going to a place like Rumble, Storyful, Viral Hog, that might work wonders for you. The second part of this video is the back end part of this video. So just as media companies always need new media, oftentimes they'll just grab it. Now, any journalist or person working in a media company worth their salt will generally reach out to try to get permission to use a piece of clip or footage or artwork or photo or whatever it may be. And they'll generally try to reach out to the individual, but there are some lazy people out there, and there's also some people working in media under a time constraint. And when those two combine, they often just take the photo or the footage or the video and hope nobody notices. But people do notice. And the thing that media companies, nobody ever tells you, is that media companies get sent letters all the time. I'm saying day after, like every day. Every day, media companies are quietly paying out hundreds of dollars because their employees have used, a photo here, a GIF there, something they found on Tumblr there that fit their story, was a nice photo, and they didn't get permission from it. And like proper freelance photographers know this, and they know they can just hey, wait a minute, that photo of Chicago is mine. Why is it appearing at the as the thumbnail for this article about 10 things the hockey team in Chicago did really well? The heck, they didn't ask me that. They write a little letter and say, hey, you guys used my photo without permission. I want some money. And companies don't want the lawsuits, they don't want the PR, they just pay out, they just write out a check. This happens all the time. So if you're in any sort of content creation business, if you have a Tumblr or a blog or something, and you're a photographer or a videographer, and you're just putting stuff up, or you're drawing artwork, keep an eye on that stuff. And if you ever see it appear in somewhere, don't be like, hey, I wish I could have gotten credit for this, or oh, that one time blah, blah, blah stole my artwork, blah, 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 being a media company. No, just email that media company's legal team and be like, hey, you're in violation of copyright law. And the legal team will go, yeah, here's a check. This happens all the time, and nobody talks about it. So that would be my recommendation. If you have a piece of whatever that you made and you've noticed it's been used, you can make money from that. So first example is just when you're out and about filming stuff. If you see something kind of noteworthy, think in your mind oh, media companies might want this. I can just shoot this on my iPhone, send it off to one of these media licensing companies. And I might be able to make a quick buck from that, because media companies are always in the business of looking for new footage, new content. Like, it can even be silly things. There was an example 2 weeks ago in a newsroom where there was some random Pennsylvania town that implemented these ridiculously looking little robots in a grocery store, right? As a means to, I guess, protect from shoplifting. And basically just cameras, roaming cameras, but they pretended they were robots, that they were to help customers. Anyway, it made for a great little local news story, and then so other media companies wanted it, but there's no footage. And it all traced back down to one local news company that had footage of this robot, and that turned out to be just done by one individual who lived in this town, and they had got a licensing deal with Viral Hog or one of these things. And then suddenly all these media companies just descended down upon this stupid little thing about robots, but they wanted the content. They needed the content. And those were just money pouring in. And so, this can apply to a lot of things that you may not think are worthwhile. You'll be surprised at how much of an appetite media has for new content all the time. So there you go. Those are my 2 tips for making money from media as an average person. With this hair, maybe CNN will be at my door next week on a educated guess. Have a good one, guys. Oh, I should say, subscribe if you want to watch another video here or there or somewhere. And, give me suggestions about what you want me to talk about, if you have any ideas. Brofist.